Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 Foo Fighters songs.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
For this list, we're looking at this rock band's finest hits over their quarter-of-a-century-plus existence. Did we leave out one of your favorites? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. Wheels. Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits album from 2009 obviously has a lot of heavy hitters, many of which we'll be covering later. But it did debut a couple of new tracks, and we'd be remiss not to highlight this simple yet memorable one.
When the wheels come down, when the wheels come down.
Wheels was first performed live at the White House during a 4th of July celebration, which might seem like an intimidating first audience for a new song, but upon listening to it, we have to imagine the band was wholly in their element. Though not as raucous as some of their bigger hits, Wheels has a strong yet inviting energy all the same, as the lyrics describe how important it is to look forward even after falling short of expectations.
And you feel like it's all over. Here's another round for you. When the wheels come down.
Number 19. Saint Cecilia. Saint Cecilia was released off Foo Fighters' EP of the same name, a pro bono listing that went out to those affected by the Paris attacks of 2015.
I got this feeling I can't keep it down anymore. Bring me some healing, Saint Cecilia, carry me home.
As if Dave Grohl's scintillating lead vocals weren't invigorating enough, the background ones were covered by singer-songwriter Ben Queller, who just so happened to be passing by the hotel when the band was recording. After hearing Queller's off-the-cuff harmonizing, Grohl later quoted himself as having said, "Get your ass in there and sing it right now."
No matter what I say, days will come and go. No matter what I say, nothing's set in stone. No matter what I say, days go by.
The tantalizing chorus with lyrics that touch upon the unyielding nature of time fantastically builds to an impassioned and satisfying crescendo. Number 18. Arlandria. Though you'd be forgiven for thinking the title of the track Arlandria referred to a person, it's actually in reference to the neighborhood where Dave Grohl partially grew up in Alexandria, Virginia. One of the Foo Fighters' more emotionally charged tracks, the lyrics and vocals suggest a deep frustration with trying to identify oneself as being not simply a product of one's environment. Even though most of us don't have the added pressures of fame to contend with, the fact that we all came from somewhere definitely helps us relate.
You used to say I couldn't save you enough, so I've been saving it up. I started saving it up.
There are more accessible Foo Fighters tracks than this, but we love it when they get personal and pour themselves into their music too. Number 17. DOA. DOA is a song that Foo Fighters don't play live very often anymore. After appearing frequently during the In Your Honor tour in the 2000s, its appearance has been sparse, its last performance coming in 2015 after being requested by an audience member. Though it might not be the band's favorite, we can definitely see why the fans would want to hear it. Foo Fighters are masters of picking up momentum in a song in a very short amount of time, and that is on full display in DOA, a song all about accepting the inevitable yet healthy end of something good. With the song topping Billboard's alternative chart for 6 total weeks, it's clear this one didn't come in dead on arrival. Number 16. This Is a Call. This Is a Call is the lead single off the band's first ever album following their inception in 1994. And honestly, they probably couldn't have picked a more appropriate track to start things out on. Obviously, Dave Grohl had a big act to follow after being the most prominent drummer for Nirvana, and especially so following the band's dissolution upon the tragic death of Kurt Cobain. According to Grohl, "This is a call serves as a respectful recognition to all those he'd worked with before. A hello and, in a way, thank you." This was especially important, seeing as it would also mark Grohl's transition to frontman and lead vocals, something he's nailed consistently ever since. Number 15. Big Me.
Beg me to talk about it. I could stand to prove.
Also from Foo Fighters' debut album, Big Me is definitely one of the band's lighter tracks. Airy and just a little playful, the song is easily accessible, and at just over 2 minutes long, it can make for a quick, catchy Foo Fighters listen in a pinch. What the song's most known for, however, is its music video, which works as a parody of the Mentos commercials that were prominent at the time.
Never was it true, but it's you I fell into.
It was nominated for 5 MTV Video Music Awards, winning 1, and its popularity became so profound that fans at concerts would take to tossing Mentos at the band whenever Big Me was played. This obviously didn't go over well, but it only adds to the quirky legacy of the song. Number 14. All My Life.
All my life I've been searching for something. Something never comes, never leads to nothing. Nothing satisfies, but I'm getting close.
Now here's a song that took the band a lot of tinkering to get just right. Dave Grohl even compared the middle section to the classic surf rock hit Wipeout, which, come to think of it, might be very interesting for Foo Fighters to cover. In any case, All My Life proves erratically effective, unabashed in its not-so-hidden meaning that is definitely not safe for work. Well, it was apparently safe enough for work for the Grammys, who awarded the band Best Hard Rock Performance. Not only that, but the song spent 10 straight weeks atop the alt chart, proving it had, let's say, stamina. Number 13. I'll Stick Around. We mentioned earlier how good Foo Fighters are at building momentum over the course of a song, but this one, though certainly intense in moments, has a much more fixed pace throughout as it takes us along for the ride. The song that would also receive the band's first music video, I'll Stick Around, is a damning rejection of a manipulative person. While there was much speculation for years as to who that person might be, Dave Grohl finally revealed in 2009 that it was indeed about the late Kurt Cobain's wife, Courtney Love. Outside drama aside, I'll Stick Around serves as an emphatic introduction to the band in their first album, and clearly, they did stick around. Number 12. Long Road to Ruin. Foo Fighters have a knack for finding positive perspectives in any facet of life. Though the lyrics of Long Road to Ruin can be interpreted in a myriad of ways, there's no doubt the song serves as a rousing call to action. And we'd be lying if we said it didn't get us pumped up every time we listen to it. Much like the other songs on this list, Long Road to Ruin held number 1 on the Billboard Alt Tracks chart for several weeks, proving the band's longevity over time. As if the song wasn't good enough on its own, the music video, which is a send-up of 70s-era soap operas and features Rashida Jones, is a treat in its own right.
Your horizon takes its shape. No turning back, don't turn that page.
Number 11. Rope. Not to immediately contradict ourselves, but Rope features some of Foo Fighters' most adept and dour song work. Describing a relationship in which one person is highly dependent on the other, the song does well to experiment with different sounds and cadences that the band usually employs to reflect the unhinged disposition of the narrator. Heck, the late great Taylor Hawkins even adds some cowbell to the proceedings in certain spots. to break free of their familiar sounds, the band took inspiration from legendary artists like Rush and Led Zeppelin, giving us a medley that almost sounds incongruous, but works perfectly.
Give us some hope, I'm coming through. I'm counting on you.
Number 10. Walk. Plenty of Foo Fighters jams have hit the mainstream in a big way, but perhaps none so fervently as Walk.
Learning to walk again. I believe I've waited long enough.
While writing the song, Dave Grohl reported to have been inspired while helping his first daughter learn to walk herself. While that may contribute to the literal interpretation of the song, the lyrics have transcended to a universal level, allowing anyone to apply their own personal circumstances to the track. After all, with themes of perseverance and second chances, who can't feel inspired by Walk?
Can't you see I've waited long enough? Where do I begin?
Beyond its popularity and radio play, the song proved to be a critical success as well, picking up 2 Grammys for Best Rock Performance and Rock Song. Number 9. Breakout. Much in the same way as Rope, Breakout adopts a wholly manic sound as the narrator goes through some difficult mental strain. Appropriately, the music video for the song was tied in with the Jim Carrey movie Me, Myself, and Irene, which is all about someone fighting the more displeasing side of their personality. The video also features actors from the film, including Anthony Anderson and Tony Cox, and even Dave Grohl's mom in a hilarious cameo. Though the movie in question may not have aged as well, Breakout still feels timeless. If you're ever in a position where all you want to do is scream in exasperation, this song may provide all the catharsis you need. Number 8. These Days. Of all the songs he's written over his career, These Days is Dave Grohl's favorite. And with that kind of commendation, we just had to put it in the top 10.
One of these days, your heart will stop and play.
Obviously, everything in life has to come to an end at some point. And These Days at first takes the position that that's all right before passionately and emphatically rebutting the notion.
Easy for you to say, your heart has never been broken, your pride has never been stolen.
Though both sides of the argument have merit, Foo Fighters' clear verve for life gets us every time the chorus kicks in, reminding us that it's okay to want to hold on to the things we love the most. With the untimely passing of drummer Taylor Hawkins, this just speaks even more profoundly to Foo Fighters' message.
One of these days.
Number 7. Times Like These. These Days and Times Like These share more than just a similar title. The latter also hits us right in the feels, though perhaps in a different way.
I'm a brand new sky to hang the stars upon tonight.
Dave Grohl reported that the lyrics reflect his uncertainty with the band during their 3-month hiatus following some difficult and disheartening recording sessions. But like a new day rising, Grohl and the band obviously came back as strong as ever. And that's where the heart of the song comes in.
Learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again.
Indeed, it's in the moments where we're most tested, where we're most doubtful, that we can recapture the things that are most important. Credit to Foo Fighters for again managing to inspire with universal lyrics of optimism.
It's times like these you learn to love again.
Number 6. Monkey Wrench. Another song about a woman in Dave Grohl's life, Monkey Wrench touches on the end of his relationship with wife Jennifer Youngblood. However, while I'll Stick Around was a much more pointed critique of Courtney Love, Monkey Wrench has a much deeper meaning. According to Grohl, the song is all about, quote, realizing that you are the source of all of the problems in a relationship and you love the other person so much you want to free them of the problem, which is actually yourself. Wise words, but we'd be lying if we said we didn't also love the song because it's a straight banger. The extended bout towards the end where Grohl seemingly doesn't take a single breath is mind-blowing. Number 5. Best of You.
Someone getting the best of you.
Here's where we get into the really heavy hitters. One could honestly make a case for any of these songs to be the band's best. Such speaks to their overall musical prowess. From a pure statistical standpoint, for instance, Best of You has its status as being Foo Fighters' highest charting track to date on the Billboard Hot 100 going for it. And its efficacy isn't lost on fans either. While many people interpret it as a love song, Dave Grohl has stated that it can be about any relationship. More generally about, quote, breaking away from the things that confine you. With such ardent vocals from Grohl that never waver in their vigor, we can't help but sing along.
I've got another confession, my friend. I'm no fool.
Number 4. Learn to Fly. Speaking of the Hot 100, Learn to Fly comes in a narrow second, peaking at number 19 to Best of You's 18. Much like Times Like These, Learn to Fly is one of the band's most uplifting songs. It's one of those power ballads that'll manage to pick you up even when you're at your lowest.
Look into the sky, saving. Looking for a sign of life.
Though a little more subdued than your average Foo Fighters jam, it's got that classic feel that makes it feel timeless even as the band evolves. It also happens to have one of their best music videos, featuring the likes of Tenacious D in a brilliant send-up of airplane disaster movies. No wonder the video won a Grammy.
Make my way back home and learn to fly. Make my way back home and learn to fly.
Number 3. My Hero. We all need a heroic figure in life to look up to. And when it comes to musical artists, Foo Fighters aren't a bad pick. But even they need heroes, as Grohl has stated that My Hero goes out to those of the everyday variety who don't get the widespread acclaim.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
While most of the band's hits come fast and furious, My Hero has much more measured guitar riffs and drum beats, almost as if it's inviting you to imagine your hero moving in all the glory of slow motion.
There goes my hero. It's ordinary.
On a more specific angle, it's been speculated that the song is about Kurt Cobain, to which Grohl has admitted that there's definitely an element of him in there. Whatever context is applied, the song remains effective. Number 2. The Pretender.
And in your skeletons, sing as their bones come marching in again.
Talk about hard-hitting vocals. While a lot of songs can show off their ingenuity with varying verses and whatnot, The Pretender makes it an issue to hammer home its core sentiment with each chorus, using awesome repetition to make an indelible impression on the listener.
What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're a pretender. What if I say I will never surrender?
It's been widely theorized that the song's meaning alludes to some of the political dissatisfaction going around at the time of its recording. But in a broader sense, we've all felt vexed with the outward appearance of something before. In this way, the song's unrelenting sounds can be channeled through every listener, and we cannot help but get wrapped up in it every time we hear it. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Everlong.
Hello, I've waited here for you. Everlong.
The band's signature tune, our number 1 couldn't be anything but Everlong. Starting with some light guitar plucking before moving into iconic riffs, the song is relatively more understated than some of the band's other hits, but it wouldn't be a Foo Fighters classic if it didn't evolve into some loud vocals.
When I sing along with you, everything could ever be this forever.
Despite the endless series of all-timers the band would see in the future, it's this early hit that has us coming back again and again. Sadly, Everlong became the last song drummer Taylor Hawkins performed live before his passing in March 2022. But looking back at this track and many others, we're sure that his impact on music will always be felt. Everlong.
I promise not to stop when I say when.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.